Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. And today I'm reviewing Bel-Air Season 2, Episode 6. It's entitled Let the Best Man Win. It's coming to you from Peacock. So, what did I think about it, and should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, this week on Bel-Air, we interrupt your regularly scheduled drama and mess to get some very special family drama in the form of the Banks family reunion, and all of the foolishness and fun that entails. This is I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit of a filler episode, but I don't give a damn. This is a fun ass episode of TV. Like, there's so much specificity to this particular episode about a black family reunion that even if you cloak it or dress it up in all of that Bel-Air finery and anything, it's still a black family reunion. And not only that, it's a black family reunion with two sons, the big mama, their mom, big mama, and how competitive they are with each other, and how that spills over into everything else that goes on, including onto the sons. Uncle Phil's brother Julius, his son, and then of course Carlton. And so, Uncle Phil, since they're hosting it in LA at their mansion, of course they want to do it, everything up as much as they can to really not just show the whole family a good time, but really show, the bank, their side of the Bankses are like just kicking butt. And so, in the midst of all those preparations and everything, you still get your regularly scheduled, mess. So in that sense, you find out, Aunt Viv finds out that that old girl has been calling to talk to Phil multiple times apparently, and she's just like, she's about ready to be like, say some bullshit. But Phil, he does keep it real. At the very least, he does keep it real. At least what he says is real, and also that they can table it. But I have a feeling Aunt Viv has got only so much tabling of stuff. She's been doing that a lot this season. I don't think there's only so much tabling of it that can go on. But of course, she's a gracious host, so she's going to make sure that everything goes off. At the same time, they also have Geoffrey. They know for sure from the previous episode that Geoffrey's snooping around trying to find info on his, on his son. And I really like the fact that they just decided, like, you know what? Let's just get it out in the air. Let's talk to him about it. And let's just be real. And, when they sit and talk to him about it and give him kind of some info, and we find out, about, the reason why. And of course that comes up later on. Because apparently people just leave shit lying around and Will's just nosy as hell, just looks at whatever. But I actually think his nosiness actually leads to a really, really good scene where he and Geoffrey really sort of talk about the fact that he has a son, that they're trying to, they try to be honest with each other and, not keep stuff away from it, which I don't remember that being a thing between them, but whatever. And how Will kind of brings the perspective of, that Geoffrey, maybe he did leave for good reasons or whatever, but that if he, if it was him, he would want to know. He would want to get a chance to sort of know who his dad is. And I like this little relationship. It's not a father-son relationship. It's mentor, maybe. I don't know. It's something going between Geoffrey and Will where there's a lot of respect and everything. And I think Will's learning good things from him. And also it's cool to kind of really, confirm the fact that we knew that Geoffrey was a hitter. So now we know for real. That was really kind of a cool little look into his life. At the same time, I really liked as the guests on this episode. You had Bill Bellamy come in as the brother Julius. He was great, absolutely great. You had Anna Maria who came in as the mom. She was awesome. Like I loved her whole energy, the vibe that she brought to the whole thing. Absolutely great. Again, Bill Bellamy, his rivalry with Uncle Phil, just so fun to watch. And I love the fact that they both sort of are pushing their sons kind of hard, but we see that Julius, because he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder because his father basically told him you can't, and then he's been sort of doing well to sort of spite his dad telling him he couldn't, and sort of seeing I guess you'd say, I don't want to call it animosity, but sort of the resentment between the two of them, Phil and Julius, and getting to see them not just acknowledge it and acknowledge how kind of their dad fostered it, but also to get a chance to sort of, get past all of that, to acknowledge each other and to get past all, maybe these resentments, and to remind themselves that they love each other, and that, that it never really was about trying to make the other person look bad. I really love that. Like, just seeing them really kind of keep it real was very, not just refreshing, but I think it's a good, kind of modeling of the way that, maybe that they could, maybe they could treat, their sons a little better, a little more grace or whatever. And to later see Uncle Phil literally say that straight up was really nice. And also to note that, that Carlton, is a good cousin. He wasn't so good to Will when he first got there, but I think now he really turned that corner. He really is like just a better man for it because of, having to sort of grow past his resentment. And I want to actually, point out that this is very much a situation like we're getting a breather from this, but this is a situation where, Carlton could backslide, and maybe he will backslide. But as far as being, as a good person about it, I don't think he's backsliding. I think he's just growing more and more as a character. Really love to see that. He's willing to take a hit for his cousin so that his cousin wouldn't, have his father come down on him. And I liked really seeing Will sort of incorporate himself into this, to this family, part of the family. He's not really his family, but he really slid in there and was just one of the Bankses for that day. But aside from kind of doing his little uncovering of the drama with Geoffrey, and just sort of going here or there, and his role really was just kind of in the background, with the exception of talking about telling Carlton he wants to actually try to get this Founders Award. And that leads to that at the end of the episode that they sort of talk about, hey, may the best man win, and maybe this will work out for them and they can still be friends, or maybe Carlton again backslides. Not really sure about that yet. Hope not, but it's definitely an interesting little bit of drama. Of course, speaking of drama, we also have the whole thing with Jazz ghosting Hilary, which was all kind of stupid, but he apparently just wants LaMarcus to just roll up in there and take his girl back. I guess I don't know. I don't know what his thinking is, but LaMarcus is definitely there. He's in it to win, and he's there to definitely get Hilary back. And so we're setting up more drama for later on in the rest of the season between the three of them. And I was actually really happy to see them give Ashley a lot more to do this episode. I kind of figured when she was given the task of just, seeing whatever the older people were, needed or whatever. I don't want to call it babysitting, but it was kind of like looking after them. And we saw, the great uncle that just didn't want to talk to anybody. Uncle Earl didn't want to talk to anybody. I knew that she was going to be able to bring him out of his shell. And it actually, that whole little bit where she finally got him to talk a little more, over some dessert, and he talked about being a Tuskegee Airman. I tell you, that hit me personally, just because and I'm sure there are many other families across America who have, former servicemen but in particular Tuskegee Airmen in their family. And having sort of been through that, sort of thing during holidays or whatever with family members, talking about, their service, I would immediately connect it to that. And I love the way that, that really was Ashley bringing that out was really what led to them sort of honoring him later. And I want them to do more with Ashley. I really do. I think the actor they have for Ashley is really good. And I think she could do a lot more. So that and all leads up to the end of the episode. You can't have a black family reunion. It's not real until they play Frankie, Beverly, and Maze. Before I Let Go. To see the little Soul Train line, I mean, come on, that's just the icing on top of the cake. It was very, like I said, it all rang really, really true to me. So just like overall, I had a great time with this episode. Yes, I'm gonna say was a filler episode. Not a whole lot moved forward. Not a lot happened in terms of the overall storylines that we've been looking at through the first half of this season. And all that being said, I think it was a good breather episode and really kind of let us know a little bit more about the characters and set up some things for later on in the season. So I loved it, and I can't wait to see more of this season. So anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? What did you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there, and of course you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or @supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do me a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps more people to see this channel and to see these videos. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to be looking at episode 7 of Bel-Air. Until then, I've been Mode Poupée, resident fabricant and commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.